Come on. It's fast breaks. Listen. We back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. We on the break, it's fast break. We on the break, it's fast break. Let's go.
Yo.
Reading. Listen.
I'm listening. Tell me something.
Turn me up in the headphones.
Tell me something.
Paul, we did it again.
It's fast break, let's go.
Let me get it right. Hey.
That was weak. Fix that. Fix that.
Well, that's how I say it.
That's how he says it.
Is it? Right.
It, yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
We are in the end game now. Basketball fans.
We're in the end game now.
It is the best.
Make sure that line from the
You just
movie
gonna
is
step
in
all
the.
over my intro.
Make sure that line from the movie is in the promo.
You good?
I'm alright. Just putting my thoughts and 2 cents out there. Please continue.
Ladies,
Say what you have to say.
Ladies, gentlemen, and theys, we are in the end game now. This is the best time of the years. We have our NBA Finals matchup. Let's dive in. Before we do that, if you are blessing us by joining our airways, know that you are stepping into an audio adventure that comes to you weekly. I am Ro, the hostess with the mostest, and you know this. That right there, we call him Coach Paul, and this man right here, King Dre. We are missing our brother Allen, but this ensemble nonetheless goes by the name of Fast Breaks. Outlet.
Yo.
Get it off the glass. Gentlemen, how we feeling? The NBA Finals are set. All others have fallen to the wayside. First class tickets to Cancun. The Dallas
crazy.
Mavericks and the Boston Celtics will decide our 2024 champion. Quick reactions before we dive into it. How are we just feeling as basketball fans, knowing that NBA Finals basketball is among us?
I feel like this is going to be the closest we have ever gotten to LeBron.
Oh, you're gonna go there. You're gonna go there. You're gonna go there off rip.
Off rip. This is the closest. This is what did we say the other day? The poor man's version. Rookie version. Rookie version. That's what I said. Rookie version. This is the closest we got, ladies and gentlemen.
So before we dissect that, just tell me your emotions with that being the case. If that's how you feel, what are your emotions as a fan? Because this is, I don't know about y'all, because y'all haven't been to an NBA Finals in your lifetime. But I have.
Not
so,
true. Not true.
So
that's
I
true.
know.
No, actually, I have. Wait a second.
That's not true.
Year of my birth.
So I
Oh no,
know
I wasn't born yet.
99,
Correct.
99, man.
Oh,
Yes,
99,
that's
that's
right.
true. That
So
is true. He's right.
So then hopefully you remember.
No, I don't.
But I know that the NBA Finals time for me is a very emotional time as a basketball fan, just watching the best players in the world play their absolute hardest for it all. I have so many good social memories and also personal memories just associated with finals time and watching finals games. What comes to mind off rip obviously is 2001, obviously 08, 9 and 10, 16 was a super special time, and then 22, believe it or not, was actually a really
16.
yeah. I'm
How
not
old
I'm
are you?
not just talking about my team. I'm just talking about like some of my best memories watching
Oh, okay.
basketball, right? So it was 01, 09 and 10, obviously 08, even though it was painful. 16 was a really big one. Even 14 was a lot of fun. And then the last really fun one, in my opinion, was 22. 22 was a really good finals.
I was glad to see Steph get his fourth.
It was just so emotional, man. Those finals that seem to have impact on players' legacies. Obviously, every finals helps someone's legacy, but there are those years where you feel like not just that year is at stake, that there's like a continuation of either a team or a player's narrative that plays out. And that makes it emotional as a fan because you feel like you're sitting through history. And I feel like that's the case this year. I feel like this is the precipice of what our next era is going to be. And that's just really exciting to watch these two young superstars have the first of maybe many or the first and the only battles in the finals. Either way, this is going to be a timestamp in history with these two teams and these two players playing in the finals. And so that just has me excited. And as a basketball fan, it gives me that sort of giddy, youthful feeling of, something serious is happening in the world of basketball. What are your emotions, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you for the most part. It's just, I don't know. The last few years is a different play. See, to me, when it comes to the finals, yeah, you're right. Legacies are made, moments in history are made, right? But if one person wins the finals one year, then another person wins the finals the next year, then the next, like the thing that was so great about LeBron's championships and Curry's championships and Jordan's championships and Shaq's and Kobe's is that we felt like we could potentially be watching the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Like we feel in that moment, we feel like that because they're getting 1, 2. How many more are they gonna get? You know what I mean? Like we feel like the legacies are being not just made but cemented and progressed.
Right.
And if everybody just like every year a different person's winning the championship, that's not necessarily the case because then everybody got one chip, and then what? You got one chip. Like it's like it's that's cool, but how much did one chip really help you? But this might be different. But I felt that way last year.
Well, all those moments had to start with one, right? So that's why I know I said 01, but obviously 2000 was a special one, right? 2012 was a special one.
Yes.
2015 was a special one because it was the beginning of all that you're talking about. So, before we go into the depth of like whether we think these teams are built to make a run, feeling wise, do you get that feeling of 2000, 2012, or 2015 with either Luka or Jason? Because that's where my feelings of like this may be. But before I look at the basketball and before I look at the teams and the practicalities, like for me, it feels like that moment for either one of those players. It feels like
it is
the fact that one of them is about to get there first. It just they're of that ilk where I feel like this is going to start a run either for one of them or both of them, right? Like this may be the beginning of them fighting for the decade. You know what I'm saying?
And we've talked about it before. Jason Tatum's been knocking on that door for a long time. And people need to stop. I've heard so much hate out there about, well, he's got a super team, or the media is pushing this agenda. The fact of the matter is, I know we all talk about who's next up. He's the next up. He's heir to Kobe. That's who he is. I don't care if you like it or don't like it. That's what the fact is. And if he starts here, I want to see him start here. I really want to see him start here because he's been knocking on the door for a minute. He didn't have the benefit of having a Shaq type player running with him. So he's really getting it out the mud and has built into what the idea of super team with this team is kind of dumb because it's just a lot of really solid guys surrounded by two superstars. So that isn't based on what we discussed last week. That's not a super team.
Correct.
Now, the most interesting part about it is so many are not considering him in the best player debate, even though he's had so much early success. And now he's here at the finals again. And they're like, oh, Luka's the best player in the world. So the emotions are going to come from me when I start seeing him take that leap to be like, nah, it's me. It's really me. I want to see it. If he doesn't do that, I'm going to have so much smoke for him. I really am. Because I can't call you the Kobe heir and you're not doing Kobe things.
Well, that's why you shouldn't say that yet.
Exactly.
Exactly. I know, but I'm putting it out there. That's who I see him as.
Can I add to that? Because I agree with that. Let me put some color to that because I agree with that heavy-heartedly. I think what you're speaking to and why I have that feeling about these two, with Giannis, we didn't expect Giannis to be what he was.
No.
So him breaking through, it was like, wow, what a great story of a guy just really actually getting it out the mud and working and turning himself into this great all-time player, and he got it done. Same thing with Jokic. We didn't expect him to become what he was. So what a great story of a guy getting it out the mud, international, turning himself into an all-time great and getting one, right? The one pushback I have is I don't think Jason Tatum got him out the mud, but I think that actually adds to the weight of this because these are two guys that from the minute they were even on a draft board or a draft projection, we had the feelings and the thinking that, oh, this is going to be one of those guys.
With Luka?
Absolutely. Yes. Luka got drafted the year after he was the MVP of the EuroLeague at 17.
Correct. 18.
Like we can't forget Luka is lineage. So that's what with both him and Tatum as the NBA fans, we both have kind of been like, we know it's going to happen, not necessarily winning, but like they're going to be the best players in the world and going to eventually have to compete. So it's almost like this maturing moment where like, and it's crazy because we've never experienced watching that as adults, right? Like when LeBron was on his come up, we were kids and we were kind of growing up too. Same thing with Kobe. Like his early winning was when we were children, and then his sort of solo winning was when we were like becoming somewhat more informed fans, like towards the end of middle school. With LeBron, we were growing up as his NBA career was growing up, so it kind of felt simultaneous of like, yeah, like as I become an adult, the current best player is sort of like beginning his reign. This is the first time we have like as adults with informed eyes watch the evolution of the next tier, and Tatum and Luka have been that, right? Like the fact that Tatum has knocked on the door so many times, I wouldn't say he got out the mud. I would say like he's the superstar who's been primed. He's been picked, like literally and figuratively. Like he got picked by the Celtics. The media in his rookie year sort of dubbed him as like, oh, this is going to be the guy, dunking on LeBron as a rookie, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's kind of like we knew that we were really just waiting for him to reach his prime, and then we were going to see some great stuff. And it's like we're at the precipice of watching that, right? He's 25. The team is still good. They've supported him while he's gone through his maturation process. He already touched the finals. Like I said, that was LeBron 07, that last finals, where it was like, okay, it's kind of great that you got there, but like we really didn't expect you to do nothing because you were going up against the dynasty, right?
Oh.
I know you're gonna go back against that, but just let me play out the analogy, right? Like I get that I get that you think he should have done more, but like in the grand scheme of things, it is like the 07 year where like regardless of whether you think he should have played better, like if you had picked the Celtics that year, I would have called you stupid.
Nah, no
Oh,
way.
no. Well, I don't. I agree with you. No. Hold on.
Come on, man. That's a dynasty over there, bro.
I know.
No first time finals appearance team is about to beat the Warriors in the finals. It's not gonna happen.
I agree.
It's not gonna happen.
Those very different Warriors.
Just to say against
I know, but the core was there and on, and though that was the last year that they all were still good.
I'm just gonna say this. I agree with you full-heartedly because we talked about it and we already made a decision. But the media and the vast majority the vast majority of like NBA IG community, all these people, they were very, very, I don't know if you remember, they were very, very much like Curry's done. Tatum's gonna wipe the floor with him. I think ESPN said Las Vegas put it at like an
but that's typical.
chance.
That's typical narrative for the dynasty, right? That they said the same thing about the Spurs in 15, right?
Which was a wild take, by the way. And
but not 15. Sorry, 14. Right? Like, oh, the dynasty is done. LeBron's finally cracked through. Like Tim Duncan is making a great last effort to get one last one, but it's over. And then what happens? Experience tends to take over when health isn't on your side, right? So like it's not a one-to-one comparison, but I'm just trying to say from the feel. Forget the media narrative. From the feel of it, this finals appearance by Tatum feels different than the last one. Can we agree on that?
Yes and no. And here's the no part.
Was he first team All NBA when he went to the finals last time?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I think he was second team.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. This is he's a first team All NBA guy now. He's 25.
It feels different.
He's got signature shoes. Like he is that guy now. And it's like now it's time.
Here's the difference to me. And this is why I said yes and no. In 2022, while I did expect the Bucks to go back, the fact that they were hurt, like Giannis was hurt. No, I'm sorry, Chris Middleton was hurt. I was like, it's Jason Tatum, the Celtics. It's time. It's their time. I thought it was going to start then. So that doesn't change for me. When I see the Celtics going to the finals, because as I said, I'm not hiding who I think Jason Tatum is or he's going to be, and I'm very strong with that opinion. I expect to see him in the finals. That part doesn't change. The difference is the level of competition where he's in a lot of ways he's going against an equal.
Sorry, let me correct myself. He did make first team for the first time.
He did make the first team. Okay. Yeah. And when he was going against Stephen Curry, I didn't see it as an equal at all. Right? Not just because of who Steph Curry is at the time and how he's revered around the league, but who he is in history. When you hold the title, the actual title of the greatest shooter God ever created, when you got to invoke the Lord in your title, now you're different. So I didn't see
what I'm saying. Like,
I didn't see it as the same. Like, this is a different, in that sense, this is different because now I'm seeing a true rivalry. I saw Steph Curry when it was going against him. I know a lot of people decided against me. This was the high school team playing with the JV team. This right now is high school versus high school.
I'll put it. I don't want to disrespect him that way, but I'll put it this way: when he was in the finals the last time, the Celtics didn't have the best player on the floor, not even debatably.
Not debatably at all.
Right. So like regardless of how good you think that team was and how much better you think that team might have been talent-wise than the Warriors, at the end of the day, when you look over there, not only do they have the best player, they have one of the best players in history already cemented. And when it comes to the NBA Finals, when that's the case, we just don't see that guy getting beat unless you're talking about a team like a 17 Warriors, right? Like when LeBron touches finals, like the Miami Heat in 2020, great team, right? But when LeBron touches finals, if you don't got a guy over there that's even in a similar conversation, there's nothing to talk about.
Correct.
And that's how I felt about LeBron in 07. Like, that's Tim Duncan over there. Like, LeBron is great and he's a great young player, whatever, but that's Tim Duncan over there. Like, you're not finna stop Tim Duncan on a mission. This is not the case. This is not the case. Right now, it's debatable somewhat, maybe not for some people, but for me at least, it's debatable who the best player on the floor is in every single one of these finals games.
Correct. Correct.
So that's a different feeling because it's like now instead of him trying to get over the hill and slay the monster, it's like him and a peer both trying to establish it, and that's why this feels different.
And in a lot of ways, also, and this is where Tatum has to really distinguish himself, because if you look at the offensive side of it, it seems pretty clear that Luka is the better player.
More consistent, I would say.
Say it again, more consistent. Jason Tatum has to do two things in this finals to distinguish himself. He has to go out and get 50 at least one time. Yeah, and he's got to go, like, going into the locker room tonight while they're playing. He's like, hey, I just want to and reinforce it, everybody. I just want to let you know, every time Luka touches the ball, I'm on his ass, bro.
Nah, he's got to guard him. He's got to no, it's June 6th. It's June 6th.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
No, I'm saying from now.
He's saying he's got to go in the locker room tonight.
Tonight, tomorrow, the day after that.
Yo, but here's ego, right? Here's ego versus schematics. If you're Joe Mazzulla, well, hold on. Before we even get into that, because I want to finish setting it up narrative-wise, right? So that's the Jason Tatum sort of progression, right? This guy knocking on the door, he went against the dynasty, but now it's like you're here versus a peer. You're 26, you're a 3-time all first team NBA. Like, it feels like we're finally watching what we foresaw was going to happen with Tatum from the first time we saw him as a rookie in that first playoff run, right? Conversely, not as storied of a setting for Luka, but similar hype from even before he was drafted, right? You got this kid, you hear that a teenager was somehow the MVP of the EuroLeague and won a championship. That's what we can't forget, that Luka has won on the highest level somewhere before, right? Jason Tatum has not won a national championship. I'm sure he won some high school chips, but I'm not sure, right? Luka has been over to a league, was the MVP of a league, and won a championship before the boy could drink, right? So now he comes over to try to conquer the best league in the world. There's draft controversy. Remember, him and Trae Young was a toss-up. The Hawks and the Mavericks did their trade. So he starts off with like this sort of not low level, but sort of this like
Trae Young was more hyped.
Yeah, this sort of comparison of like we didn't believe it, right? We didn't believe. We were like that EuroLeague stuff is cute, but he's still young. We don't know if it'll translate, but there was intrigue, right? There was intrigue, and then he touched down, and I feel like within a week of his rookie season, everyone was like, "Oh, this is a professional," and that's what I feel like has been the narrative with Luka. Is like he came in so polished, so confident, so sure of himself that he almost convinced you, like, oh, he's like, once he figures out this league and once he gets a team around him, it's going to happen, right? I mean, and is
he wrong?
No, and that's what I'm saying. His first playoff runs, that's what it looked like. It looked like, oh, he's ready. The Mavs just got to figure it out. The pieces are not right here. But when he took the Clippers out, it was like, oh, he's ready. Yep. He's got to get the right pieces. When he went to that first Western Conference Finals, it was like, oh, he's ready. He's just got to get the right pieces. And this is what, Paul, we had an argument a while before the season about like how to handle what you do with the young superstar and whether you invest in the young core or you go get that veteran who still has a lot to give you, right? And I told you there's a formula to this. And I've been waiting to bring this up on the pod, but like the Mavericks are the exact example of what I was talking about. When you got a superstar entering his prime, listen, him and Porzingis as a young core was a great idea, right? Him and Brunson as a young core was a great idea with Tim Hardaway and Dante Exum and all that stuff. Like, great idea, but he's ready now. And so what do? They go get utility pieces at the trade deadline, and you go get the veteran star who still has a lot in the tank. And what does that get you? It gets you a trip to the finals, right? I mean, we watched it. We watched it happen. Right, we watched them go.
Saying they wouldn't have gotten to the finals with Brunson?
I'm not trying to do a direct one-to-one comparison. I'm saying just the way the team was built, the way the team. I'm not trying to say Kyrie is necessarily the key upgrade over Brunson. I'm just saying from a philosophy standpoint, right? When you have a young superstar entering their prime, like the idea of like keep a young core together and wait for them to grow together versus if the superstar is ready. getting them utility pieces and a veteran star player who can carry it in the downtimes, that formula has always proved to work. That, like, the only time the young core works is if everyone in the young core is ready. But if we're watching it with Cleveland right now, Donovan's a little bit older than the rest of those guys, and he's ready now, and they're not ready, which is why it doesn't make sense. Correct. Right? Like, he needs to be playing with an older star who has the experience and has enough left in the tank to get through. He doesn't have the time to wait to grow with this young core, right? And it's the same with Luka. Luka was ready.
By the way,
well,
I
think I fell on the other side of that argument because Paul was saying they needed to invest in that young core, and I'm saying I disagree with that. I think if you got stars like this already, you go get a veteran star like a Julius. But like a Julius Randle, who can be the veteran backbone of a team. Right, exactly.
With the experience. Why Julius doesn't have the experience.
You can't.
That's fair. That's fair. But anyway, I don't want to sidetrack. I just want to continue setting up Luka. Mm-hmm. They did it, and now he got to the finals in the first full year with that unit. Right? They've been aggressive. The Mavericks owner? Mark
Cuban.
Mark Cuban. He's done his thing. He presses the button, and then I think the interesting thing about this as well, with those two narratives coming to a clash, is I mentioned this off pod earlier. They're both Jordan Brand athletes.
Yeah,
and they're the only Jordan. They're two of the three Jordan Brand athletes of this era, right? There's only been so many before. The last era's Jordan Brand athletes were Chris, and Melo.
Chris, Russ, and
Melo, and we saw how that turned out. And Jordan picked those guys pretty early. Well, he picked Melo immediately. But Chris and Russ, he picked them sort of late in their career after they already made it. He picked Luka and Tatum almost immediately, right? So his vision, his idea, even if you want to say it's just from a marketing standpoint, that's just further proof that there was eyes on these guys of a very special lens very early on. And I think it's very interesting that now they're meeting. They're both on their second installation of their signature shoes. Right. So I just wanted to set up the moment of like why I feel like there's more sort of excitement and emotion behind that, because it's like we're watching as adults, we've watched these two players become what we thought they would be. And now it's coming to a head for the first time. And I don't know the last time, like, we to your Kobe LeBron point, the last time we sort of had that feeling of like, oh, we see two players on a collision course, we didn't get it. So there's a special joy I get in like we saw these players on a collision course. So we didn't see Steph and Bron on a collision course. We didn't see that happening until it happened.
2012, I would say that was a collision course year
with KD. Yeah, for sure. And then he didn't get back.
Kawhi too.
No, because again, we didn't expect him to be that. We didn't expect him to be that.
I guess.
But I'll give you 2012. That definitely was like, okay, yeah, KD's coming.
And then also 2015 with Steph Curry.
No, because we didn't think Steph was going to be that either, bro.
No, I'm not going to lie to you.
Notoriously, Steph was not expected to be that.
I'm not going to lie to you. When he dropped 52 in the Garden, I said he's
sure. But what year of his career was that? He was already 5 years in.
That was 2010.
He was already... That was 2012. He was already like 3 or so years in. Like,
come on, that's not.
He was 4 years.
Bro. Yeah, he was 4 years. He was 4 years in, bro. We're talking
when was
about.
He drafted? He was drafted 2009,
and that was 2013.
You said 2012.
2013 year.
It was the 2012-2013 year. Yeah. We're talking about a different type of prestige here. We're not talking about they showed us early in their career young. We're talking about when these guys were drafted.
Right.
We believed these were going to be two of those guys.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these were the guys of the era, right? That we knew it from the minute they got drafted. Like, we're going to be looking forward to watching these guys when they're 25, 26. That is different than all those scenarios you talked about. So let's get into the weeds of it. Do y'all want to talk about the matchup between them two, or do you want to break down the teams and strategy for winning the games first? Where do you want to go first?
Let's go to the matchup.
Do we want to smoke the Timberwolves pack real quick?
Listen, there's nothing to smoke.
Well, 4-1 is a smoke. 4-1 is they getting rolled up with the grabber.
They got nice little gentleman sweep. They weren't ready. They'll be better next year probably, but they weren't ready this year. They were built to take out one team specifically, and they saw that team earlier than anyone else expected.
Well, no, because we sort of saw that. I was banking on it. I just didn't want to be their first round matchup, but I was fully banking that the Timberwolves were going to get them out of there in the second round, which is why I wanted to be on the other side of the bracket to do what the Mavs did, and then get the Timberwolves after the grueling 7-game series. Like that's exactly what I wanted. Give me the Thunder, give me the Thunder, then give me the who they play in the second round. Who they play in the second round?
Who?
The Mavericks.
Mavericks played not the Suns. They played the.
Who did they play?
Wow. No, it was the Thunder. It was the Thunder they took out.
Who was their first round then?
The Suns. No, Suns was Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Suns was Timberwolves. The Mavs took out the Clippers, and then they.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I want to give me the Thunder, give me the Clippers, and then let me get the beat up Timberwolves after they take out the Nuggets. That was my exact plan. That was literally my exact plan. Because I knew that would, like, if you had the team, like with some size and veteran leadership, that could happen because the Clippers are a mess and the Thunder weren't ready. And then the Timberwolves would be beat up because it would take them 7 games to beat the Nuggets. I knew that was how it was going to go. And the Mavericks, to their credit, played well enough in the regular season to get that spot. So salute to them. Congratulations. But I knew that was going to happen. But continue.
Hold on one second. So, yeah, no one knew. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. They weren't ready. I was hoping that it wouldn't be a gentleman's sweep, to be honest. I was hoping they'd at least get 2 because all this talk about Anthony Edwards. But let me just say this for the Timberwolves. Let me say this for the Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert is soft. He's soft.
It's a Rudy Gobert hate podcast.
Gobert is so freaking soft. It's not even funny. You know what? Honestly, I don't even know if a person really needs to work out with Shaq to learn Shaq's ways because all he does.
He would never.
But he needs to get tough. Honestly, you got to hit up Hakeem or someone. Like, you need help. Do you know how many freaking little finger rolls? I just dunked the basketball. What's wrong? Back some. Why are you getting hunted like this? And just on the other end, be like, oh, okay. I understand why Shaq
is not good. He's not a good player.
So why is he soft? I want to hear that.
Because he has no dog in him. I don't know if I saw him dunk the basketball once that series. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's 7'1" and he plays with no force. He gives you no driving impact as a basketball player.
Zero force. He's a finger roll god. That's what
Zero presence. Nothing.
Everything you're saying, I think, does not really apply to Rudy, and it applies to Karl Anthony Towns.
It does also.
What did I say at the beginning of the season?
Right now.
What did I say at the beginning of the season? You got 2 goofies as your front line. And I meant that playfully, but in the playoffs, we see what I mean with the actual the real practical application of what that is. You got 2 guys that are goofy as big men. They play with finesse. They don't give you any strength. They don't give you any force. They don't give you any presence at all. No physicality.
Very
I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns, not Rudy.
I'm looking at both. At least Karl Anthony Towns can shoot the basket. Like Rudy has
Can he?
Rudy Gobert has his tendencies tell me that he should be a stretch 5. But he can't do anything a stretch 5 can do. So he better be able to dominate in the paint with force. But he also can't do that. He is a goalpost. It's disgusting to watch. He has it's not even bag. You don't need a bag when you're a center. You need power, and he doesn't have that. And if you don't have power, you need a damn shot. He also doesn't have that. So
That's what I'm honestly saying.
He's turning into a net zero. That's what he is. That's what he is.
All I be saying, bro. And this is what
the only thing he is good for is guarding. Honestly, he didn't even guard Jokic.
All he can do is protect the rim. That's what I've been saying. Like, yes, if the driver meets him at the rim, Sure, he's a great player. He's a great player. Outside of that, what other sequence of a possession is he helpful with?
Zero.
If it's not contesting a shot at the rim, what else in the possession are you happy to have Rudy Gobert for?
So
when I was in high school, hold on. When I was in high school, I had a friend named Kevin. Kevin never played basketball in his life. But when we played pickup, everybody would pick up Kevin. Why would we pick up Kevin? Because Kevin was 6'3", about 260. He stood in the paint. And when you went to go drive on Kevin, Kevin would knock that shit somewhere else. That's all he knew how to do. Kevin and Rudy Gobert have the same set of skills. They clog up the paint and they're pressing.
Listen, all I'm saying.
Paul. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
First, let me say this, right? I was watching Gilles Arena, and
I don't give a damn what he says. His takes are terrible, but keep going.
Okay, beef.
I don't like his takes at all.
Hey, yo.
He said yesterday that Stephen Curry is not a generational talent. Why are we giving another
pod so much free promo right now? Can we just...
You're right.
Well, Gilbert Arena said, the player said that...
What player?
No free promo.
The scheme that the Timberwolves were running was off.
Yes.
Because Rudy would be all up in the paint, but he got no paint skills, like offensively.
Correct.
And then Karl Anthony Towns would be running around the 3-point line, moving like a guard.
Yes.
Because he could shoot very well, but he wasn't making his shots.
Yep.
And then when you have Rudy down there, it's like he's a negative in the paint. So why not have like a high-low action with Rudy not inbounding, throwing the entry pass to Karl Anthony Towns?
Because he can't. They tried. They tried. He can't do it.
I don't think that he can't do it. I think he doesn't want to do it, which is why I thought the Timberwolves would not get where they are right now. The reason I thought that they wouldn't get to where they are right now 2 years ago when they made that move for Rudy is because Karl Anthony Towns is a center. Rudy is a center. Karl Anthony Towns wants to be a power forward so bad, but he's a center. And the thing is, he could shoot.
He's not. He's a damn power forward, and he needs to learn how to actually be one.
He's a center.
He's a power forward, bro. He's a power.
He can't be a power forward. You know why he can't be a power forward? Because he has no paint protection skills. He's actually all right on the
paint protection in the paint.
Because when he was playing center, and that's the funny thing that played out again. Like and I won't stay too long on this, but when you say, Dre, that they'll get better, I don't know if they will, because the same issues that they had with Cat as the best player are the same issues that held them back in this series. And it's the fact that Cat can't play defense without fouling. And when his shot goes away, he doesn't diversify his game. That has been the thing with Cat every year. He cannot play defense without fouling, which is why you can't have measured paint protection, because everyone's going to drive intentionally and get him out of the game. They used to play him out of the game with foul trouble. And then if his shot is not going, he's going to keep hunting it, and he's not going to mix up his game. He also will be afraid to post up when he's in foul trouble, because he gets offensive fouls a lot too when he tries to be big. Because he doesn't actually do a power game. He tries to swim by people and do James Harden, Luka sweep throughs. And as a big, if you time that right, you can get an offensive foul every time. So the issues that Cat has as a player are still present. So unless he fixes those, the Timberwolves will be stuck in the same spot they're in.
Hold on. Here's my thing, though. This is why I thought they weren't going to work in the first place. So I was so surprised they were so good this year. It's because what the Timberwolves did is enable Karl Anthony Towns' bad habits by bringing in Rudy, right? That's what I think. I think Karl Anthony Towns can, because you got to remember, he wasn't shooting all these threes even 3-4 years ago.
No, he
wasn't shooting this much.
He was.
But he got better. But he got better.
He got better. He tried shooting. He wasn't hitting. He wasn't hitting, but he was shooting them.
He wasn't shooting as much as now.
No, Paul,
he wasn't getting in the post.
Paul, you're right, but he got more productive as a player when his 3-point shot got better and he started shooting.
Right. But so did Embiid, but Embiid took less threes and got better.
He got more effective. He got more effective.
Yeah, well, right. Embiid's 3-point shot got better as the years. His 3-point shot got better as the years went along, but he started taking less threes and diversifying his game more.
Correct.
And that's when he became more effective. Karl Anthony Towns, who was in the same draft class, right, as Joel.
Correct.
Right? He should be doing the same thing. But when Rudy
there's a key difference between the two of them, though. And I know where you're gonna go. You're gonna say he can't do it with Rudy on the floor, but he has never had the propensity and tendencies to do it. Joel did. Joel, from a young age, worked on post game and playing with power. That's why people were so frustrated with him when he was in his taking a lot of threes era, is because we've actually seen you be a dominant player down low before. We've never seen Cat dominate down low.
Anthony Towns,
we've never seen it.
Superstar who was mostly in that paint area on the
but
box.
Not with dominance as a post player.
Never once. Never.
Not with dominance as a post player.
It was with,
no, he was a budding star, but not for that skill set.
Not for dominance as a post player. It was for skill. He was a pick and roll guy.
Correct.
He would get the ball in isolate. Look, he will face up. He might not.
He was a skill guy. He was a skill guy. He was never a dominant player of force.
Of course not. Right. But
but that matters. That matters, though, because what did I say about what he does when he does go down low and why it's still part of his flaw? He's a liability for fouls because he's a big 7-foot guy trying to skill his way to the rim. So which often turns in a turnover or a foul. Or it's easy to double him because he's going to face up and then he's incapable of passing out of the double team.
Correct.
So what Karl Anthony Towns needs to do is get better at it. But he's not going to get better at it because they enabled him to just live on the three-point line by bringing in a center. Karl Anthony Towns is a center.
I disagree because there's so much room on the basketball court. And again,
there's
not.
Not really.
No, there is. When you have the ability to shoot the ball, it's opens up for you. You don't necessarily have to live at the 3-point line. If you can hit it from 3, you can diversify yourself from 2. You can hit fades. You can hit pull-up jump shot. Like, you need to be able to get those skills. And if he's going, my biggest problem with Cat, he has an idea of who he wants to be, but he has no plan on how to execute it. He doesn't work on any of the skills necessary to be one of the 2 players that his team needs.
I won't say that. I would say what he has is he has the right philosophy on what he can do to be effective, but in games where that doesn't work early, he falls back on his base instincts, and his base instincts, if he's not hot, take him completely out of the game.
Correct.
Facts.
And to push back on your spacing point, the reason why there's not space on the court, especially when him and Rudy play and Naz Reid is not out there, is because if they have Jaden McDaniels in the strong corner, numbers wise, teams are not playing him, so you have help there. Mm-hmm. And then Rudy Gobert is probably the only 7-footer who you can space to the rim, and teams will still help.
Yeah.
He's probably the only 7-footer in the league who you can put in the dunker, and teams are still going to rotate on the drive.
He's going to bobble the ball.
Because he's not a threat anywhere. He's not a threat anywhere. So there actually is nowhere to go. Off the switch, maybe. Yeah, with a little man, he might be able, if you catch it right at the rim, and he could just put it over. But if he has to dribble through the little guy, we've seen it with Luka. He tried to post up Luka with the live dribble, can't get it done. Right? The spacing is messed up when he's out there because there's nowhere you can put him where the team's not going to rotate.
Yeah, that's true.
And Karl already struggles even in ISO situations with a double because he doesn't back down.
Calling that man Karl was crazy to me. I'm not going to lie, but keep going.
He doesn't back down. He doesn't do spins. He doesn't back down. He doesn't do spins. He doesn't do drop steps. He tries to drive by people.
Because he doesn't have the required skill sets. This is
he's light in the backside. So yeah, Paul, I think I agree with you. And that's a basketball saying. If you play basketball, people say that.
No, I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
I've heard it, but it's still crazy.
If you really, my real hoopers out there, We know that's what they,
Nah,
we
you're
know.
Brooklyn Hoopers.
I actually was censoring myself. There's another way to say that phrase that real hoopers know. That boy a little light. You know what I'm saying?
Still
That's mad funny.
But yeah, so I think to Paul's point, and this is where we were pushing back what you said, Andre, I don't think they get better because I don't see, maybe this is where I disagree with you, Paul. I don't see how he improves those things.
Go work with Hakeem.
Rudy's there, so
That's
he's not
eight.
gonna
Y'all act like Hakeem is a for hire trainer. Like you can just sign up for Hakeem sessions.
No, you pay that.
I think he can because he charges a lot.
Nah, he
No,
helps a lot of
You're not
players.
understanding. You're not understanding what I'm saying. Y'all think there's like a sign up sheet and you can just put your name down and pay Hakeem to come work with you. I don't think that's true. Like there has to be mutual interest, brother.
Correct. I know. I understand.
But
like honestly, Hakeem seems like to be the kind.
No, that's embarrassing. Imagine you like he hit up Hakeem. Hakeem's like, I'm not sure, and you have to pay. You have to be like, yo, I'll throw you a stack.
They say he charges a lot, though.
Of course he does, but I still think he declines to work with certain people. He's Hakeem Olajuwon. He's not just running camps. Like
I'd say he could overcharge.
He could.
No, but I'm saying all the great veterans, like their camps are invite only. Like you can't just sign up. You couldn't just sign up to go to Mamba Academy when he did that guard camp that summer. Like you had to be picked. You had to get invited. You can't just ask Hakeem to train you. So I nothing he's done has shown. Like it would be a fundamental changing of his game, not adding. Right? Everyone Hakeem's worked with, it was a logical adding to their game. Nothing about Carl's game makes Hakeem go, oh, he would really benefit from working.
No, I'm talking about Rudy.
Before Rudy's got
to learn.
Rudy should never look at Hakeem Olajuwon in the eyes.
He really shouldn't, but he needs some help. He needs help.
It's too late, bro. Rudy's 30 years old? Rudy's 30 years old, bro. Like,
I don't care.
He is what he is, bro. You're not getting a post game at 30 years old.
If Rudy learned, even just spent a week with Hakeem, just 24 hours, he would improve so tremendously. He just needs to learn. Someone just maybe you know what it is,
bro. You're talking as if he has game that you're talking as if he's Dwight Howard. You're talking as if no. You're talking as if he's Dwight Howard who just needed a little bit more consistent of a move, but nonetheless had offensive talent and skill. This guy has no offensive productive skill. You can't just add that in a day. What are you talking about?
If he just then go work with Shaq, bro. Learn how to be big the right way.
Yo, it's over, bro. It's
hit up your hater. Hit up your hater and be like, and humble yourself, young man. Be like, I'm sorry. I need to learn.
What you're asking is not a real possibility. You can't just become a good center in one summer. I agree. I want to get off.
No. But this is what I mean, though.
I want to get off the Timberwolves. We were supposed to just be packing them up, to be honest.
I know, quick.
Smoke that pack. That's what they did. That's what the Mavs did.
Rudy. We're talking about Rudy as if he has some type of offensive responsibility on the team.
That's exactly what
I'm looking at. Karl Anthony Towns. Forget Rudy. Karl Anthony Towns.
I agree. So I think he has the same problem. I don't see him getting better in that area. I don't.
I think he's enabled by the team. They brought in a center because he wants to shoot threes all game. So
that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because there's a fine line between enabling, and we've had this conversation before. There's a fine line between enabling and, as a franchise, just recognizing what your player is and trying to do what you can to accommodate.
Nah, man.
Because look, Carl's not a young player anymore, right? So maybe in the first 5 years, when you see these tendencies, you try development. At a certain point, when you start to realize a player is who he is, you do one of two things. Either you're D'Lo and we trade you, or you're Wiggins and Levine and we trade you, or we bring in players that cover up what your weakness is.
They chose to develop his 3-point shooting.
But because he was leaning that way anyway.
Nah,
like,
I don't think so.
Bro, you're acting like him being a big man shooter wasn't part of like his draft prospect. Like that was a part of the idea of him as a player. He didn't just decide out of nowhere, I'm going to become a 3-point shooter. He got better at it, so his numbers went up, but he came in the league drafted as a shooting big man. That was a part.
But when he was looked at as a budding star, he was not shooting all these threes. It was a part of his arsenal.
I agree. You're talking about threes specifically,
else.
though. Paul, you're talking about threes, just threes, though. I'm saying play style wise, three or not, he was drafted with the offensive talent of shooting and skill. He extended it to the 3-point line later, to your point, but he was never on a development pathway to be a dominant post guy. That was never a part of his game. That was never a part of his development plan. That was never why he was drafted.
When I
he
say
was
post,
drafted, I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is this is the end product of what he was always being developed to be. They may have tried to interfuse more post in his game when he was young to try to make him more well-rounded. When he rejected that, or when it didn't stick, they had a choice to make. Trade you or bring in players to accommodate it. It's the same thing with Wigan. Think about that whole young core they had. All three of those players had great talent and a lot of flaws. At a certain point, you either blow it all up or you pick one of them that you think has the most sustainable talent and you build towards that. Zach LaVine couldn't shoot. All he was an athletic slasher. They tried to develop his shooting. It didn't work in time. He had to get out of there. Pretty much the same thing with Andrew Wiggins. We had 2 slashers and a shooting big. What do you want to keep? One of the 2 slashers or the shooting big? They kept the shooting big because they saw where the NBA was going. And they tried to infuse some post work into his game. It didn't hold. So you have one or two choices. You either take it or you bring something in to try to accommodate for it.
Look, he averaged 18 points on 54% shooting in his first year, which was actually 2015, 2016. I thought it was 2014, but it was not. And he shot 34% from the 3, right? That was his rookie year.
But next year, I'm talking about more than just the shooting of threes. You're not hearing me. I'm talking about play style, bro.
No, but what I'm trying to say, I'm bringing up the stats because I'm trying to say he could be a face-up player in the post up on that box.
But that's okay. That's true.
Wait, let him go. Let him go.
No, but I agree with him. We've conceded that. That still doesn't. That to our point, that's not going to change things. Because I said to you, his flaws are still present as a face-up player.
Because he wasn't developed.
But not because he doesn't have face-up game. His flaw. I know what you're saying, but you can't change. You can't change that.
I disagree. I don't know why we're saying we can't change
because the last time they were in the playoffs before Ant got drafted, we saw it. He was the last year he had his best year, right? When he had Pat and D'Lo, right? He had a great year, and he was mostly a face-up player in the post. In the playoffs, what happened? He got doubled, and what did you say, Paul? When he gets doubled, what does he turn into? A guard.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
A guard with no passing ability.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
As if when you're younger, you can't change that.
He's not young anymore. He's not young anymore.
Well, that's what my point is.
28.
But man, he's young. He can do this.
What are you talking? He's 28.
The change that he needs to make is to literally learn how to pass out of a double. That's the change.
Nah, he gotta get back in the face up more.
I mean that too, but he already has those skills. So the only new skill he needs to learn is how to pass out of a double team.
I agree with you, Pharaoh, that he can't change it now. But I'm looking at the Timberwolves organization.
Okay, sure. I can agree with that. But just to the point of like moving forward, like I don't see that changing in him now. So I don't know how they get better.
What is the impossibility?
The best thing they could do, honestly, is invest
this age.
IQ.
Why can't he develop? I'm like he's not like he's 33.
Because players by 28 don't all of a sudden gain basketball IQ. The only thing you could do is surround them with basketball IQ to put them in positions that work. That's true, Paul. That's true, Paul.
What did he say? I missed it.
That's what he's concerned about with Julius. You don't just gain basketball IQ at 30. What you can do is you bring in high IQ players around them to put them in good positions and to make the decisions for them, which is what Mike Conley was, which is why Mike Conley was the biggest ad. I think, honestly, they should invest in Naz Reid.
They should.
Of course.
That's what I think.
If
you want to get rid of Rudy, make Naz Reid your starting power forward, send Cat back to center, because then the floor is actually spaced. If Jaden McDaniels can become a 35% guy in that corner, then you're talking about something. And then you can switch everything. Now the problem is Cat's still going to get played off the floor with foul trouble.
Correct.
That's the issue.
That's why you have to keep Rudy.
So you need get a real backup center. Get a real backup center that you don't have to pay $300 million for, like they have with Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. Two starting centers that just offset each other, that each play 24 minutes a game with no drop off.
Facts.
Get a real backup center. Yes, a good transition. Yeah. Let's talk about on the court how we look at this matchup. What are we thinking?
It's a hard matchup to take.
Quick. The Instagram comments. Gordon says, put some respect on 3-point contest winner Cat. Luka ain't a little guy. Hakeem ain't made one big guy better. He's a scam.
Joel Embiid for sure.
Get rid of Rudy, get Hartenstein. That's smart.
Get rid of Rudy,
that's exact. Get rid of this huge salary black hole.
We're not giving up Hartenstein.
No, I know.
Forget all that.
Yo, but I don't think y'all can hold on to him because he did earn himself a bag this summer, bro. He might there's a lot of teams that might throw a bag at him.
We shall see, man.
Like a big bag, and y'all don't have a lot because y'all gotta pay OG. You already said you're not gonna extend Randall. Like,
there's a lot of decisions that the Knicks have to make, like on a lot. So we can.
Josh Hart's gonna win a bag.
Yeah, but Jalen Brunson already saying that he's not gonna like.
This is different. This is a different type of team, Pharaoh.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a different type of team. The Knicks are a different type of team.
Y'all are about to have your hearts broken.
You see.
Remembering because y'all got bought in with the emotionality of the run and how much of a team it is, and you're about to have your heart broken when you realize these guys are professionals trying to feed their families. And you can think, oh, they love each other, they want to stay together all they want. If someone throws a bag at Josh Hart, this is maybe the only chance. Same thing with Hartenstein. This is the only and best chance after that playoff performance for them to get the biggest bag of their lives. And you think they're not going to take it for the chance that they might could get to a conference finals with this team next year? They're not stars, right? Stars sacrifice money for legacy play. Role players do not sacrifice money for legacy play. And you know who's one of the big examples of that? You want to know the biggest example of that last offseason? And it killed the Nuggets this year? Bruce Brown.
Yep.
I don't care that we can run it back. I'm a role player. I just got myself a bag. I'm taking the bag. This is probably the only bag I'll ever get offered in my life. I'm taking it. Good luck. Good luck, Denver. I'm sorry. I need a bag. If someone throws $25 million a year at Isaiah Hartenstein, he's gone.
He's going to take it. No, that's
he's gone, bro. He's gone.
We shall see.
If someone throws $22 million at Josh Hart 4 years, he's gone.
Well, our guy Al DDA says Josh Hart got locked in. It's really between OG and Hartenstein, which is a fact. I don't know if can keep both. We shall see. And he said when Cat was in college, Coach Kyle didn't let him shoot threes. The Timberwolves enabled it with an exclamation mark, which is a fact.
But he was a shooting like
Jersey.
Y'all. I don't think during those years y'all had top draft picks. But if you remember, those were the years where the Lakers had the second draft pick every year. I was actively on Draft Express on YouTube every day, looking at these guys that were coming out these years. I'm telling you, his draft profile emphasized his shooting ability.
Yeah, but they didn't think about it like this, though. They didn't see the evolution.
Because they didn't think he would, and they also didn't think he would become that proficient at threes per se. But I'm telling you,
that was a choice, though.
I know, but the idea of Cat being a shooting big man is not this novel creation that happened in the last few years. That's all I'm trying to say. Is that he was always drafted and developed as a shooting big,
a big that can shoot. Not a shooting big.
A shooting big.
A big that can shoot.
I'm trying to tell you something, bro. You were not watching Draft Express. I was watching I was watching these guys. I remember when they were calling D'Lo the next James Harden. You got to understand, like, I was watching their draft profiles of who their player comps were and what they were saying these guys were looking at. No one was saying this guy was the next KG. Or the next Hakeem. Like that wasn't his comps. His comps were like Rasheed Wallace.
If he played like Rasheed Wallace, then he would be a lot better.
Rasheed Wallace was a shooting big man.
He was a big that could shoot.
Oh my, no. KG was a big that could shoot. Rasheed Wallace was a shooting big man. Stop it right now. Stop it.
He will get the
Stop
post
it.
and get busy too. You
And
acting
shoot
like,
and shoot fades and shoot
That's
fades.
also a
well,
fact.
okay, that I
And
agree.
shoot
Okay,
fades.
right. But I'm just saying.
That's all I'm saying is that wherever on the court Carl was gonna be as a player, he was gonna be shooting the basketball. If he was a post player, he'd be a fade guy right now. He'd be LaMarcus Aldridge.
They will be better off if he was though.
Maybe, sure. Anyway, back to the Mavs and the Celtics. The matchup. Just starting 5 to starting 5. What are we thinking?
Well, it depends on Kristaps Porzingis' health.
Yes, it does.
It's a big factor because I'm not going to lie. Daniel Gafford is going to give Al Horford some problems. He really is. And Derek Lively also is going to give him some problems.
Why do you say that?
Why do I say it? Because of age. They are quick and strong, and it's going to be tough for Al Horford to keep up.
I mean, he's going to be.
I don't know if it's going to be.
I
I don't know if it's going to be tough for him to keep up. I would say it'd be more
defensively.
I think Missoula is going to hard trap and make. Remember, because if y'all watched Inside the NBA. Also, I didn't watch the last one. I don't know if they did a goodbye.
No,
but if they
already said they're coming back next year.
All right, word. But if you watched 2 games ago when Draymond was talking with Daniel Gafford, that was love, but Draymond also should have said that off camera because you just exposed to the world that Daniel Gafford struggles with decision making on the short roll.
Yep.
Right? If I'm Missoula, that's what I do. I trap Luka and Kyrie hard, early trap, and I force Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford to be short roll decision makers and to find people on the backside. So Horford can move his feet enough for a trap, especially with Luka, because Luka's not a turn the corner guy, right? Luka's gonna back dribble, protect, and try to pass over. Kyrie, it might be tough. Kyrie could probably turn the corner on Horford, and that's gonna be a struggle for him, which is why they're gonna want Kristaps, because Kristaps' length will give Kyrie issues shooting over the top. But
Correct.
for Luka, Horford can trap. The pressure on the Celtics is going to be their rotation.
Yes.
Because Lively can hit the little midi, and also Lively knows to be aggressive downhill and dump off. So who are they going to put? Right. So who are they going to put in rotation to stop the short roll? Right. And that's why the initial matchup matters, right? Who do they start on Luka and Kyrie? Because then who does that leave in rotation? Right? So if they put Drew on Kyrie and Tatum, I think they're going to put Brown on Luka, to be honest.
They probably are, but it needs to be Tatum.
I don't.
On legacy
no,
game,
that's correct. That's correct because you need to have Brown in rotation.
Correct. That's the actual
You need to
answer.
have Brown in rotation.
And Derek White too. And Derek White too.
Right.
Honestly, you might even need Derek White more than Brown because Derek White on defense, he's that guy. He really
right, especially from the weak side. He's
Correct.
A weak side blocking kind of guard. Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, all this love we gave to Tatum earlier in the podcast. Jaylen Brown is the one that's been getting the buckets.
Yeah,
like
listen, he got his acknowledgement though. He won conference.
No, but I'm saying,
so.
but I'm saying that because he needs to conserve his energy now. You got to think of him like a superstar. He got to conserve his energy.
See, that's that soft ass new age superstar.
Man, this is why he's gonna leave like Kyrie.
But you are a super two-way. I'm so sick of this. Conserve energy. If you're the star who scores, you don't got to play defense bullshit.
Nonsense.
What is this? What is this nonsense?
Nonsense.
What is that?
The only person I give that to, unless you're the point guard. I only give that to the point guard. I give it to the point guard a little bit. If you're a high facilitating, high shooting point guard, you get it a little bit.
No, that's soft.
It is soft. Most point guards are soft. I hate to break it to you.
In my era of basketball, the best players were who was the best on both ends.
And how many of those guys were point guards?
A few. Isaiah Thomas, Gary Payton. That's the era I grew up with. Chris Paul.
But Gary Payton was a high facilitating point guard.
I mean, for the day.
Even because
for the day.
Because when I'm thinking high facilitating point guard, I'm thinking of Oh my god!
If you name a
What?
new age point guard right now, you're gonna
No.
someone who obviously doesn't play defense.
I'm naming. Why can't I think of him? Utah.
Aaron Williams,
No. Back in the day, 90s.
Stockton.
Yes.
Okay, you're talking about literally like the highest facilitating point guard of all time. So like, yes.
I don't know if
But Stockton clamped.
Yes,
Stockton clamped.
Yeah, he
one
did.
of the
So I don't want to hear it. Yes, I don't want to hear it.
That's
I don't
true.
want to hear it.
That's
Back
true.
in the day, bro, if you couldn't play defense, it didn't matter how nice you were on offense, bro. You were a 6 man. We can't start you if you're food. That used to be the standard. If you are food, you can't start.
But here's the thing, though, right? I feel you. I would like that era back, but that is not the era we are in. So
stop it. But we're in a new era. We're at the
precipice. I just saw Luka clamp up a number of players.
That's a fact. Luka showed me a lot of heart and effort on defense in this year's play.
But it wasn't all game, though.
No, it wasn't all game. But
that's why I'm talking about Jaylen Brown. If you put him on Luka, you know how tired he's gonna be.
I don't care, bro. If Jaylen Brown wants to be that guy, that's his pathway to Finals MVP.
I think Tatum should guard Luka.
No. Whoever guards Luka, if that team wins, that's who gets Finals MVP. I promise you that on everything I love.
For sure.
On everything I love. On everything I love. No, because if they contribute offensively, and then they're the ones that guard Luka, like if they both average 25, let's say 25 to 28, whichever one of them guards Luka is gonna win.
We got some Kyrie hate in the comments.
Well, I don't want to address that. I don't want to address that.
I'm tired of the Kyrie.
Derek White, they're not putting Derek White on Kyrie. That is foolishness. You're crazy.
No, I don't know if that's
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Drew Holiday for sure is the pick.
That's
foolishness. Drew Holiday is for sure the guy who goes on.
Foolishness.
But what I will say though,
if you don't put,
what I will say is that they're gonna switch a lot.
He will average 32.
But they're gonna switch a lot
on Derek White. Nah, you're bugging.
Yeah.
Let me say this, right?
Derek 32.
Are we giving predictions now? Are we allowed to give predictions now?
Well, let's stay where we're. Let's finalize this matchup. So you think it should be Tatum? Me and Dre think it should be Brown because you want to have. No, I think it should be Tatum. We said it should be Tatum.
We said Tatum.
Wait, you want Brown in rotation.
You want Brown to be. That I said.
Yeah, not for that reason. No, we like it because
you're a hater. That's your reason.
No, but for my reason, I actually want Tatum because I want him to take that challenge as the guy.
He's got. If he doesn't do it, he's a bitch. I'm sorry. He's
he's
gotta do it. He's gotta do it. He's gotta do it. My fault, audience.
I'm not gonna hold you though. Maybe Tatum need that type of energy, man. Maybe he needs that type of energy.
No, I want him to take the challenge, and also I want to have Jaylen Brown in rotation. Well, I don't want anything because it's Boston K, but that would be the smart thing for them to do. is to have Jaylen Brown guarding like the Josh Greens of the world and the PJ Washingtons of the world. Although the natural matchup is Tatum on PJ Washington, but I don't like that.
No,
I don't like it.
That should not happen.
It's
but let me say this: they switch so much, it doesn't matter. Derek White is.
They're not going to switch this series if they're smart.
On Kyrie though. They will switch.
No, hard trap. No, that's stupid.
You can't trap two players that much.
Joe Mazzulla is not as good a coach as
yes, you can.
They're gonna lose.
Yes,
they're gonna
lose.
lose.
No, they're not. Because who's the threat? If they rotate, who's the threat?
It depends. Who are they rotating off of?
Josh Green. Josh Green has to win the NBA Finals. In my book.
Josh Green.
In my book, if I'm Joe Mazzulla, Josh Green and Derek Lively have to win the NBA.
I like how you didn't say PJ Washington because he will.
Get my man PJ in there.
You have to stay. You have to stay home. But that's what I'm saying. You have to make those guys make short roll decisions. Because if Daniel Gafford gets the ball at like the 3-point line above the foul line, and everyone stays home, what the hell is Daniel Gafford about to do?
Nothing.
What is he about to do? That's what I'm saying. You have to make that the option. You cannot allow Kyrie and Luka to matchup hunt with switching. You can't let it happen.
What I see Daniel Gafford do a lot though is when they trap, like they have such chemistry on the Mavericks. Not only does Luka know when the trap is going to come, Gafford knows when the trap is going to come, and he doesn't come into the screen. So it's a bounce pass.
Yes, he goes it. Yes. But what I'm saying is it still turns into a 4-on-3 on the backside, and the ball handler has to make a decision. That's what Draymond was trying to coach him for. He saw it. He sees it coming. He sees it coming. In the next series, you're going to be in that position a lot. Here are your options. This is what you have to be able to do. If I have to see Gafford be able to do that before I say that that's going to work.
Draymond Green is dangerous, man.
He really tried to give him the sauce. He literally was like, "Yo, I see how this is about to go for you, bro. Here is your options from that position." Like,
and he's a current player. That's weird. That's so weird.
He's trying to transition into his next career. Come on,
he could coach. He's gonna coach. I promise you, he's gonna coach. He's gonna get thrown out a lot.
He's gonna start fighting the refs, bro.
He's gonna have a PJ Carlissimo, Latrell Sprewell type situation.
Rick Pitino,
he's gonna need it too.
Jeff Van Gundy.
Right? Yeah. Oh,
they telling me JJ Redick's the next Pat Riley.
I've been hearing people say that.
Lord,
I don't know.
Lord, please, just.
I don't know why this is coming. I like JJ Redick. I don't know if I agree with a lot.
I didn't mean to off track, guys. I just wanted to make that aside because we were talking about coach comps, and that's what they're trying to tell me in these streets. And
they don't know. We don't know what JJ Redick. I don't even like the fact that JJ Redick is going to be the coach because he's too tied to LeBron. They need a coach that's going to coach for real.
Well, no, because they actually said. They came out and said we're hiring. And this is the person they said this, and I'm finally glad they're doing it and they're saying it with their chest. They are saying the coach they hired, they're hiring primarily for Anthony Davis moving forward. They said that in an official statement. They said that in an official statement, which is what I said. I said the only way AD takes the team is if the Lakers say this is your team.
They have to.
Because LeBron tried it. LeBron at the beginning of the season, he tried to say it himself, but Darvin Ham didn't say it and Rob Pelinka didn't say it. I think they have to say it like they have to sit Anthony in a room and be like, yo, this is your team.
That sounds nice.
But we can talk about that more in the offseason. So we talked about the matchups from a defending the Mavericks standpoint. Now, what about Celtics offensively? Where's the mismatches? Or where's the advantage?
I don't see one. I'm not going to lie.
I think PJ Washington gets hunted.
Hunted? By who?
Yes. Everyone.
Well,
you said PJ Washington.
That's the thing about the Celtics. That's their offense. When they find the mismatch, they believe every perimeter player in their starting five can utilize the mismatch.
That's a fact.
They'll just do screen and roll with that player. So who does PJ Washington guard? Tatum? That's Cooks. That's Buckets.
I don't know.
I think you hunt PJ Washington and you hunt Kyrie. I think hunting Luka has proven not smart. I think you hunt PJ and you hunt Kyrie. I think Drew takes Kyrie into the post. I think Derek White is ultra aggressive. You make Kyrie have to guard.
I think
if they get mismatches with Brown and Tatum, then they're also posting Kyrie.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah, they're gonna attack Kyrie. PJ Washington. I think PJ Washington can hold it down.
He can. He's a good defensive.
Can he move his feet on an island?
They're not gonna leave him on an island. They're not gonna leave him on an island.
So you're saying the Mavs are gonna double?
They're not gonna double, but they're gonna help.
Where do you help from with the Celtics?
Like, all right, for example, right? If PJ Washington,
they prove that everyone's gonna knock it down if you help every single one of them.
I don't believe in this philosophy that the Celtics are just gonna shoot the lights out every single game. I don't believe in that.
They're not. They're gonna shoot it four. They're gonna have four. No. They're gonna have games where they miss, but they're gonna the bet and what we've seen so far this year. They will shoot well 4 times before you beat them 4 times. That's what they've proven.
I think they haven't proven a thing because they've had the easiest cakewalk in NBA history, and when the pressure gets to them,
shot making is shot making though.
No, it's not. It's not though.
It is.
It's not. When the pressure is on you, that shot feels heavier now.
Not for this team.
I don't know if it feels that heavy.
That's a young man's criticism, bro. This team is way too experienced to be talking about some stage. If anything, that's the Mavs.
They got champions.
If anything, that's the Mavs. PJ Washington was on the Hornets 6 months ago, and now he's in the NBA Finals. Is that corner 3 going to go down as much?
I mean, if it's
wide, it was not going down as much against the Timberwolves.
Wait. You have more faith in PJ Washington showing up with his jump shots in his first finals, in his first playoffs, than the Celtics making their shots?
Here's the thing.
You know they got champions over there, right?
What are we talking about?
Wait a second. Let's be clear. The Luka and Kyrie are more dangerous nuclear, like arsenal offenses.
Agreed.
Than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yes.
How wide open that PJ Washington and Josh Green are going to be is not going to be the same.
You know it don't matter. You know it don't matter.
They're not going to get the level of open shots that they got.
Paul, be an informed basketball fan. You know that does not matter. You know that does not matter. PJ Washington was in Charlotte 6 months ago. This is the NBA Finals. This is the NBA Finals. LeBron.
Hold on.
The lights were too bright for LeBron in the NBA Finals. You trying to tell me
that's LeBron though? That's why he's not the GOAT.
You trying to tell me
PJ Washington's the GOAT?
You think PJ Washington's about to show up? I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying in terms of having faith. I'm not putting more faith in PJ Washington than the Celtics shooters. I'm not going to do that.
You said Josh Hart wasn't a playoff player.
Because he wasn't until he became one. Until he became one.
Well, I'm projecting
you and some of our friends. Y'all have this y'all love to take y'all predictions and y'all beliefs and projections about someone and then communicate them as if it's already a fact. I love that you think certain players are going to be certain things. That's great. That's awesome. And when they do that, you get to be like, oh, I was right. I told you. If that gives you some, if that gives you some sort of pride, you can have it. That's great. It's amazing. I'm a lawyer. I deal with evidence. Evidence. Until you do it, it's like what we said to Dre about calling Tatum the Kobe Air. Until you do it, I'm not going to say it because I haven't seen it. So no, before this year, he was not a playoff player. Now today, I can say Josh Hart and Hartenstein are playoff players.
Thank you. That's growth.
I believe
it's not growth. I maintained that the whole time. I said I hadn't seen it, so I'm not about to say it. You're not about to have me out here looking crazy. Nah, you gotta show me first.
You said Josh Hart. I think Andre said Josh Hart. You said not a playoff player. You that's what you said.
Yes.
So you did make a projection.
No, I wasn't saying he won't be.
Yes, you were. You said not a playoff player.
No, he was saying present. No, that's not the same. He was saying presently he's not a playoff player.
I'm saying as of today, he's not a playoff player because he literally has not played in the playoffs. It was just a fact. I was just projecting your projection. You were telling me he's going to be, and I was like, okay, maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Maybe never came out of your mouth.
Here's the thing, and this is where the rubber's going to meet the road for this team.
Pause.
No, why is that a pause?
Just keep
that's
going.
That's not more pause worthy than the things you were saying.
That's a fact. What are you talking about?
It is in the end because road means something different.
That's crazy. No, this is a known saying. Saying.
In the end. Oh, now it's known sayings. But when I said real hoopers, know that this is a saying. Now, it's a pause anyway. It's a pause. You know what?
Pause anyway. It's a pause anyway. Take your lightness somewhere else. Anyway.
That sounds crazy.
Whoa.
Listen. All I'm going to say is Pharaoh's right. There is no evidence thus far in front of me that leads me to believe that you are going to beat the Celtics 4 times before they have 4 good shooting games. It's just not going to happen.
I haven't seen that happen.
It hasn't happened yet. Because here's the problem with the Celtics, and here's the problem with the matchups. But this is why it's so important. It can happen, and this is the series where we could see it happen.
Right.
But thus far, it hasn't. And if Kristaps Porzingis comes back, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
All that lob business that they do with Luka driving.
Goodbye.
Kristaps is going to stay home because their wings have the strength to stay with Luka. That was a big thing about the Timberwolves.
Correct.
Timberwolves are great defensively, but they weren't a strength team. They were a length team.
And by the way,
Luka just used his body to subdue that length and put people in positions. He's not bodying the Celtics. Like maybe Derek White on a switch. Right?
And by the way,
Derek White on a switch, maybe he bodies him. But again, I think they're not going to switch. And I think if they do switch, Tatum, Brown, Holiday, they all have the body to stay with him. I'm not saying he's not going to cook. I'm saying those advantage plays where you get those lobs to get Horford and Lively easy buckets, it's not going to be as effective if Kristaps is there.
And by the
But
way,
we're talking about
Al
Celtics
Horford-
offense. Celtics offense
Well, I was
again.
going to say one last point about the defense. And if Al Horford's coming off the bench because he's one of the better help defenders in the league, and he doesn't have to play 38 to 40 minutes and can rest for 20 minutes, that advantage that I was saying that Lively and Gafford have, that's gone too.
And quiet as kept. Cat didn't shoot well, but he got all the threes he wants, which speaks
Every single one.
Which speaks to Gafford and Lively's ability to rotate.
Yep. Because
And so
Al
Horford is going to make those, and Chris
that
Stapps
corner
is going to
three
make
shooter.
those. Yeah.
And Chris Stapps also it's a problem.
But the thing is, I think they'll switch more on the Celtics because Karl Anthony Towns can put the ball on the floor. Al Horford.
No, but
Al Horford can pass.
Wait. On a switch where the guard goes to the big, you think?
Why would you put a
time out? You think Cat was more equipped to be effective than Al Horford?
I'm saying Cat is more equipped to put the ball on the floor than Al Horford. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think you've watched the Celtics enough. Anytime there is a switch where the small guards the big, if the guard doesn't want to cook, Al Horford gets right to the post. And this is what I'm talking about being a power player.
Right.
Al Horford has a post player inside of him, and he pulls it out every single time a little guards him. And he gets right to his right-hand hook, and that hook is 75%.
And what I'm saying is that
it's 100% against a little guard.
The Mavericks
75% to be realistic, but yes.
I don't know if I've seen him miss against a little guard. I'm not going to front. Keep going.
The Mavericks are the first. You could literally say the Mavericks are the first like good team that the Celtics have played on.
Sure.
That's fair.
So when he goes to the post, you don't think that?
Wait, you were trying to convince me the Pacers.
Wait, let him finish. Let him finish. They didn't have Tyrese.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, let him finish.
Right.
I'm interested in this point. Keep going.
I think the Mavericks are going to switch that on the backside. Like you're gonna have the person, whether it's PJ Washington or whoever, they're gonna switch
a quick replace. You mean?
Yes. They're gonna go across the paint.
The Celtics move the ball too well for that. I mean, I like it. I like the strategy. I like it. They'll do a switch and let the small hold the big, and while Al Horford goes to back down, they do a quick replace. One that's very hard to execute. It's incredibly hard to execute.
I think they could execute it. I think the Mavericks are well.
I like it. Jason Kidd has that exact kind of defense in his wheelhouse. He used to do that with the Lakers a lot. So I know that he has that in his wheelhouse.
I forgot he coached the Lakers.
Yes. He probably should have been the head coach if it wasn't for politics, but I'll leave that. I'll leave that be. Because we support everyone. we support everyone. That's a fact. So I know that he has that scheme in his wheelhouse. It's incredibly hard to execute. If they pull it off, that is a big chess move, and I like it. It remains to be seen if they can execute that on a high level. And if they don't, poorly executing that scheme leaves wide open shots. Yeah. And the Celtics move the ball well enough.
Yes, they do.
That if they're late on that or there's miscommunication or confusion, that is going to be a bucket, especially with Al Horford as the one making the read. You do not want to play with Al Horford with the ball in his hands on the move. It's the exact opposite of Gafford and Lively. Putting Al Horford in a short roll or a switch situation, if you have movement and you haven't figured out your coverage, you're not talking, he will find the dimer. And again, it will be a person who's going to knock down the shot, or it'll be a backside cut for a dunk.
Mm-hmm.
And your big is out on the perimeter, right? Like if y'all do that and PJ doesn't get there in time, the Daniel Gafford, who's guarding Tatum now at the switch, Tatum's just gonna backdoor him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I like the idea. It's just risky if you don't practice it. And they have a week to get it ready. So that's it. I like that.
They have 5 days.
Well, they've had a week since they won.
Yeah.
So I like to let's look for that's gonna be Fast Breaks fans. When y'all watching the game, if y'all see hard traps and Daniel Gafford as a short roll decision maker, and y'all see a replace scheme for switches by the Dallas Mavericks, know that Fast Breaks had y'all prepared to really analyze basketball.
And shout us out. Let your friends know. Yo, these guys are really on it.
In the comments, when all the NBA analysts after the game start talking about these schemes and everything, just know I want y'all to put y'all are stealing Fast Breaks sauce. Fast Breaks was saying this is how the game was going to be played a week ago. Okay. Anything else schematically we think that's going to be key? I think rebounding is going to be huge in this game, which is Luka and Tatum are both great rebounders from the wing position. Now, here's the thing. Paul, you called this. I didn't see it coming because Kyrie was previously 13-0 in closeout games, which is why closeout games matter. I don't care about elimination games. I care about elimination games.
Okay.
But closeout games are a stat.
Yes, it is.
So when I was saying you not showing up in a closeout game matters, juxtaposed to someone that's 13-0 in closeout games, it talks. Now, it says something to me that he lost his first one in that game 4, but it was because he literally didn't show up, right? Yes. And you called out that sometimes Kyrie has cold streaks, which has historically been a thing.
I'll let you know right now. He's not going to have a cold streak.
I don't know about that because the last time he was in Boston in the playoffs, he absolutely did. So there is a scheme. The Celtics are very familiar with guarding him. Very familiar.
These are his old teammates. They know him.
So my question is, how many of those can the Mavericks survive?
That's up to the Celtics, man. That's up to the Celtics.
Dre, what do you think? Dre, what do you think? How many cold nights? Honestly, I'll put it to how many cold quarters. Like, can Kyrie have a cold? Yeah, can Kyrie have a cold half of a playoff game this series?
No, he can. He's allowed 2 non-consecutive quarters. He's allowed 2 non-consecutive quarters, and they can be in game 1 and game 3 and never again. That's the standard.
I like the take. No, I really think he has to be pretty consistent. I really do.
I think listen, man. This is why look. We didn't do predictions yet, so I'm not going to go any further.
But I got a prediction already. I'll tell you right now.
Are we doing that?
No. Wait. Let's finish your point, Paul, and then we can wrap it up with predictions.
Listen, I'm just saying. I think the Mavericks are going to get better looks than the Celtics. That's what I think.
I might agree with that.
So what's going to happen is if Kyrie,
I think the Celtics are better shot makers, but
right. But I think it doesn't matter because they're going to have wide open looks on the Celtics on the Mavericks side.
We'll see who shows up.
And I think Kyrie, if he starts to get cold, Luka's going to start to take over, and when Luka starts to take over, it's a wrap. Because then now all of them hard traps, high doubles, all that leaving somebody wide open, that's gonna start happening, and that's when it's gonna be 4 on 3.
4 on 3 on the backside,
with Kyrie out there. Even if the person
I'm staying home on Kyrie, though. I'm staying high. No, I'm not. The person who rotates can't be from Kyrie. I'm sending the rotation off of Josh Green.
But think about
Derek White on Josh Green. He's coming over. Josh Green has to beat us.
But think about this. Even if Kyrie gets the ball in the system, it's 1-on-1 with Kyrie Irving.
I'll take that with Drew Holiday.
Out there,
I'll take that with Drew Holiday. I'll take that.
I'm motivated.
That's Drew Holiday, bro.
That's Kyrie.
That's not Nikhil Alexander Walker, bro.
Jalen Brunson gave Drew Holiday the business this year.
Not 4 times in a row in the playoffs.
Not 4 times in a row.
That's what I'm saying. In the playoffs too. That's what I'm like. Listen, man. It's gonna be fun. I'm telling you this right now. It's gonna be fun. Because I like the idea of watching that. I like the idea of watching Kyrie versus Drew on the backside island. That sounds amazing.
And let me tell you something. Kyrie Irving, that man was lying. You know he's motivated. And he's gonna step on Lucky's face again if he wins the chip.
Nah, I think he actually plays it PG. I think he actually plays because
I said if he wins the chip. If he was a chip.
No, because you don't. Here's the thing. Now let's talk about the mental game, right? A little bit before we get out of here. I think Kyrie can't make this about him. If
No,
he
he
makes
can't.
this
It can't
series
be
about
personal.
him, they lose.
They got more smoke on the Celtics side.
Because the thing about Kyrie, the reason why they've been winning is because he's exhibited some of the best discretion he's exhibited in his entire career.
I agree.
Especially as of late. Like the last few years,
yes,
this is some of the best discretion he's exhibited. If he departs from that, the Mavs immediately become way easier to guard.
facts.
Way easier.
I agree. But I'm just saying, Luka makes the game easier for Kyrie too, right? Like it's Luka and Kyrie. So when Kyrie gets the ball, right, but Luka's the one that they're focusing on, and Kyrie's getting busy and he's scoring, it's gonna be about Kyrie. So I don't think he's gonna make it about him. When I say he's gonna step on lucky thing, I'm saying after they win the chip, if they win the chip.
I hope not.
He's gonna step
now. Speaking of that, I think the most important minutes in every game are the minutes where one of them is off the floor.
That's correct. Because it decides.
Because that's when I'm talking. That's when I'm talking about. I'm talking about those moments. He still can't make it about him.
Correct. He has to make it continue.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not gonna lie. His best moments when Luka's off is when he's taking that high facilitator role. His gravity brings a lot of players around him. He can hit PJ.
He's got to make reads.
I'm serious. He's got to do some. No offense, but he's got to do some LeBron Luka stuff. He's got to make some magic happen. He's got to hit. What's his name? He's got to
get PJ Washington going. He's got to.
No, I know him.
Kyrie better burn a lot of stage.
Who's the one that dunks a lot? What's his name?
Gafford.
No, not him. Other one.
Lively.
Oh, Derek Jones. Derek Jones.
Oh, he's a starter.
He's huge in this series. He's huge. He's huge.
Yes, he is.
He's going to be a problem for a lot of players.
He's got to shoot.
He's fast, and his corner shots starting to drop now.
If he don't make threes.
Yes. He's very important.
Very important. If you don't make threes, it's a tough one for them. I promise you that. Mentally, Tatum. Which Tatum does he set out to be?
He's got to remember he's 6'10".
That's tough.
I agree.
But like he's gotten here playing this sort of semi-reserved fashion. And you know what is the biggest credit to him that I know he's playing reserved? You know how I know he's playing reserved? Because in game 5, that man was about to have 50 and he said, "Let me stop."
Farrell.
We watched it happen. This man had 18 in the first quarter.
Farrell.
And he literally said, "Let me stop because that's not going to get us to the win."
Farrell. This is why them having the easiest cakewalk in NBA history is going to hurt them.
You don't think he's ready to turn it on if he needs to. But here's my question.
Here's my question,
though. Here's my question. Does he need to?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's 100%. The tough. But see,
no, it's not that tough. It's not that tough at all.
Would that be making it too personal?
No.
You've won.
He has to.
You've won by letting your shooters get shots and letting Jaylen Brown eat.
If you think
is it not the right decision to keep it going like that?
No. Here's why. He needs to get. Honestly, he might have to do it game 1. He needs to let them know.
I agree.
That could be fatal. That could be fatal, though.
He's got to let them know. He's got to get 50 one time. It's got to be game 1. He's got to let them know all this switching shit. It's not sweet. It's not sweet.
Okay.
You leave me open.
Okay, I like that.
It's a wrap.
I like that.
It's a wrap.
I like that. I like that idea. He has to punish the switch early.
Immediately. Anytime, honestly, anytime he's open for a second, kill.
Yeah,
kill switch on.
But that's not how they've been rocking. I
but
feel like that's so dangerous. That's so dangerous. That's so dangerous because what if those guys lose rhythm? Derek White already looks like he's a little out of rhythm.
He's not out of rhythm.
That last couple games of the Pacers series,
his
shooting numbers were bad. His shooting numbers were bad.
Listen. The Pacers didn't know that it was an exhibition game. This is the real one.
No, jokes aside. Derek White already looks a little out of rhythm. You got Kristaps coming back who needs to be brought up to speed in rhythm. Yes. Like it's a very dangerous moment if you're Tatum to flip that switch from rib.
Oh.
I hear y'all's arguments for why it should happen. I just think about it from a coaching staff perspective. Like
I understand what you're saying.
That's a tough call.
I hear you.
This is a character defining moment where you really have to feel this out if you're Tatum.
He needs to do. Here's how it has to go. That's why I only said it has to happen once, and it has to be game 1. And then after that,
I don't know if it's game 1 though.
I do.
Maybe it's a swing game. Maybe if it's 2-1.
No.
In a game 4, you're like, let me get us this win to get us out.
He has to do? He has to do it one time, and then he has to, on the other side, he has to prevent Luka from doing it once.
Think about Curry. You're not going to prevent Luka from no one's preventing.
You're not going to prevent Luka from getting.
Think about Curry in 22. Think about Curry in 22. When did he really flip the switch? Game 5 and 6.
Because that was necessary
to get it done, right? If you're Tatum, maybe you let it rock. And when it's closeout game time,
but here's what I'm saying.
You go get that chip.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The Mavs are not a team.
I disagree with
that. The Mavs are not a team.
Do you think they can get a win? Singular win. Hold on. Answer this question before you make your point because it'll inform your point. Singular win, not the series. Singular win. Do you think they can get a win against the Mavericks without Tatum having to score 40 plus?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think they can get 3 wins without Tatum having to score 40 plus? Do you think they can get 2 wins without Tatum having to score 40 plus?
Yes.
Oh, so let's say he does that, and then he goes and gets the last 2 wins. That might be the smart move.
It's not a bad move. Here's what I'm saying. The Mavs are not a team that you want to see.
You don't want to play with them. You don't want to. Well,
you don't want to. You can't let it happen.
You're not sweeping this team.
You can't let it happen.
It's
you
going
have
to
make it happen.
It's going to 6 games.
You set a standard.
Trey,
you don't want to see them
going
game 6. You don't want to see them game 6.
Trey,
you need to
the
do
series is going
in
to
your
6
power
games.
to make
it's
this
not
a
going to happen.
5-game series.
No,
you have
I think with Tatum, that's
power.
stupid. If you think you can get this team out of here in 5 games, you're bugging the hell out.
I don't know if that's. I don't know.
You're bugging out. You're bugging out.
If Kristaps is back, I don't know.
No, that's hubris. That's hubris. You have to play the long game. It is. This series is going 6 games. If you said the Warriors 6 games in a 20,
I said Celtics in 6. I agree with you.
The Celtics took the Warriors to a game 6 in 22.
If you can get it done, if you have a chance, if the window's open for 5, you get it done in 5. None of this non-closing up stuff.
It's not happening. It's not happening. It's going to 6. It's not happening.
I said Celtics in 6.
It's not going to 6. It's not going to 6 because it's 3-1 and you lose game 5. That's not what it's going to be.
Listen,
this series will be tied up 2-2.
Don't know about
this
that.
series. This series will be tied up 2-2. I honestly think they split home.
I don't know about that either.
I think they split the first 2 games in Boston and they split the first 2 games in Dallas. I don't know which order. I'll be honest. I'm not that good. But they split the first 2 games in Boston and they split the first 2 games in Dallas. And then that Boston game 5, that's the game that I'm talking about.
Let me say this.
That's the game where you come home as Tatum and you get your 50 and get that third win.
Let me say this, right?
And then it's on the team. Can you go into Dallas and win a chip, or do you have to wait till you come home in game 7? That's how I have this series going.
You for sure can't let it go to game 7. I really don't think.
We shall see.
I know
that's how I'm calling this series goes.
I know we both said Celtics in 6 if it were to happen that way. I'm saying if I'm the Celtics, I got to do everything and make sure this is a 5-game series. Every single thing.
I mean, that's true always.
No.
That's not realistic.
No, because everyone's like, let's get it done. I'm saying from realistically, if the Mavs see game 6, I don't know if the Celtics can close them out. I'm not going to lie.
Think that way. You can't think that way as a team.
They can't think that way, but as an analyst, I can think that way.
I just don't think that's true.
I don't know if you want to see. I don't know if you let the Mavericks see a game.
It depends on what the series is. If it's 2-2 and you lose games, if it's 2-2, if it's 3-2 and you're up, even if you lose game 6, you're coming home for game 7.
As you and I have discussed, game 6 got to be the closeout. I don't, and based off of that, and the fact that we've talked about the fact
I would agree.
We don't know if you will beat the Celtics 4 times before they have good shooting games 4 times. I think this is the series. You don't want to test that out.
But I mean, the Mavs are feeling the same way, bro. Like the Mavs don't want to have the Celtics have a 3-2 lead, and the Mavs don't want to have to go into Boston for a game 7 for the championship. Like, let's put some respect on the Boston aura as an opponent perspective.
Correct.
Like the Mavs do not want to go to no game 7 in TD Garden, bro. Like,
No, I agree. If I'm the Mavs, no. If I'm Mavs, I'm comfortable taking this a game. I'm comfortable taking a 6 series to 6.
If you're the Mavs, you want to win Game 5 in Boston and go up 3-2.
Yes, you do, and you want
to try to you want to be going home for Game 6 to try to win it.
Which is why I'm saying you can't let the Mavericks get to 6 games because they get to 6.
No. The key is you can't let the Mavericks win Game 5. I think this series comes down to Game 5.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be a 5-game series.
No, it's not going to be. You're not going to beat them 3 times out of 4
if you want to win.
No,
I promise you. If you
you think if they go up 3-2, they're not going to win Game 6?
I don't know if I can say it like wholeheartedly right now.
That's ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous?
Wait, but you think they have no shot? And then even if they lose that, you think they have no shot in Game 7?
I'm not saying they have no shot. I'm saying this is not a team you want to find out.
I think that's a completely unrealistic goal to wrap this up in 5. That's completely unrealistic.
Maybe it is.
Also, not only unrealistic, I think it's disrespectful to say that if they don't win in 5, they're not going to win. That's crazy.
I don't know if they will.
That's
crazy. Know if they will.
Bro, but you put some respect on the Mavs are hoping to get to 6. Like you're putting a lot of gas.
I know.
The Mavs right now. Like,
here's the thing. Do you believe Jason Tatum is the best player in the series?
I think Game 5 will tell me that. If the first 4 games go the way, I think if the first 4 games,
period, point blank.
If the first 4 games go the way I think it will,
talk about Luka, man.
Game 5 is the game. If it's 2-2 with a Game 5 in Boston, that's the game.
That's why I'm saying they have to win. If they win Game 5,
no, but it's gonna be tied.
Whatever. I don't think it's going to be tied. I think Game 5 is the tie.
We're going in a circle because you think the Celtics are about to beat the Mavs 3 times out of 4 games, and that's ridiculous to me.
I don't think it's that ridiculous. I don't think it's that ridiculous. But we shall see.
You've been sleeping on the Mavs all year since the trade deadline, and I have receipts for you because
I know you don't need receipts. I admit it. I've been sleeping on them all season.
We told you in March that this team was a potential contender.
You did, and I did not listen. So we're telling you now, and I think Paul agrees with me. They're not beating the Mavs 3 times out of the first 4. They're not. Oh, what do you think?
I don't know. Look. I've said this all year. This is why I said the Knicks were going to beat the Celtics. The Celtics beat themselves. They have everything available to them to win the chip, and I don't believe this is the first year that they've had enough to win the chip. They have had enough to win the chip for a long time. Let's
ignore the fact that their superstars were 24 years old, but that's okay.
Okay, they had enough to win the chip before, and they have even more.
24-year-old best players on your team.
Who cares? They had enough.
Who's the last 24-year-old that won the championship?
Who's the last 24-year-old that's been on a team this nice? They've had enough.
A lot.
What do you mean?
A lot.
Listen. They've had enough to win the chip. They have enough now. The way they are playing,
Kevin Durant.
What you're saying is
Kevin Durant.
No, Westbrook. No. What? No. Listen.
He was 24 years old with a fire team. I don't know what you want me to say.
On the team. Remember what Magic Johnson said about that man? That final series?
That's nasty work. Leave him be.
All right. I'm just saying, bro.
Okay. What I'm saying is this, right? The way they've been playing, and this is why I say Jason Tatum needs to show up like for real for like 40, 35, 40. Which is not impossible for him at all.
But if Jaylen Brown is cooking again,
this is what I'm saying.
If Jaylen Brown has it going,
this is where I'm going. Jaylen Brown has been able to go off the way he's been going off because they had a cakewalk, I think. And I know he's great.
Oh,
I know he's great.
Where you're taking it.
I know he's great, but this is a different series. Offensively and defensively, Jaylen Brown is going to have the most fight he's ever had, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is shocking. I think
Jaylen Brown. Hold on. Jaylen Brown has been saving Jason Tatum, in my opinion.
Right?
Not
saying Jaylen Brown's biggest fan telling me he's been cooking because it's a cakewalk.
He got the listen, man. He got the
wow.
This is crazy. This is that's not crazy.
You've been saying this is the guy.
I didn't say this is the guy. I said he could be the guy, but he
I
hasn't been.
I thought you would be on some. He's showing it right now.
No. It's been too easy for the Celtics. It's been way too easy for the Celtics, man, for me to say anything like that. I don't know anything about the Celtics.
So you're saying this is when Kyrie was killing the Pistons back in 2014?
Yes.
You said Kyrie. Oh, wait. Kyrie was killing the Pistons.
You remember in their 2014 run when Kyrie was dead killing the whole Eastern Conference?
Oh, yeah. Facts. Yes. That's what I think it was. Yes. It's been too easy for them. And now they're going to be challenged. I think game 1, they might lose just because they're going to get hit. They're going to get hit.
I agree with you.
Like,
I agree with you. I think Tatum kind of knows that too, which is why I think he needs
to get 50 in the first game. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
But I think he can't kill their confidence by taking it away from them off rip. He almost has to let them see, let them call for me. It's like Batman.
And then at some point in the
it's
game,
like Batman. It's like Batman. You have to let them put the signal out because you need them to be in a space where they know they need you. Otherwise, you're a vigilante. Or if they don't need you, you're a vigilante. If they need you, you're a hero.
Here's the problem, Pharaoh.
Hold on. Let that bar sit. Let that bar sit.
Say that again.
That's not accurate. There's a lot of times Batman just be like, I don't care what they say.
Stop. If they don't need you, if they feel like they don't need you, you're a vigilante. Once they feel like they need you, you're a hero.
That's the Superman problem. Batman doesn't care about being a vigilante. He's gonna be who he's gonna be. And that's
if that were true, he wouldn't have given Commissioner Gordon the signal.
Commissioner Gordon actually said
No, Batman is a psychological guy. That signal is important not just for criminals in Gotham, but for the citizens as well. They need to feel like they need me. Otherwise, I'm also an enemy.
Think about it though, Andre. Like Derek White's been cooking in ISO. That's Derek White. You know what I mean? Like,
why are we saying Derek White's not like a top 50 player? He's nice.
Whoa.
In the league currently. Top 50 in the league
if
currently.
He comes out game 1 and takes it from them, they're going to feel like, where did all that trust go? We've been cooking all playoffs all year. Where did the trust go?
He has to trust your leader too.
He has to let them come to their own realization.
If they haven't come to the realization yet,
why would they? Why would they right now? Why?
What? In the words of Paul, they've had a cakewalk. They need to understand. They need to understand. They need to understand.
Of course,
they've had a cakewalk, and he's been letting them. He has let them run the show. You're
series. You're thinking from a third party perspective.
3 series. I'm sorry.
You're not thinking from the mindset of being on a basketball team. Like when you're on a basketball team, right? Like the emotional seesaw and the psychology of shot assignments and feeling like the guy, they can know he's the guy. But when you get into a rhythm where your guy is letting everyone eat and you're having moments where you feel like you're proving that like we can help you and we can get it done. When you come out in a big game and that guy just decides for the team, forget all that, that's soul crushing. And it leads to resentment. Because it's like, bro, we get you're the best player, but we've literally helped you get here. And so for on the biggest stage, for you to just abandon that and act like we're not good enough, it feels like betrayal. I'm speaking real from it feels like betrayal. He can't do that. But when you are in those moments, let me finish it. When you were in those moments though, and it goes the other way, when you realize, ooh, this is a new level. There's nothing better than being able to go to that guy and he's humble and you get to be the role player that's like, hey, it's your time now. Hey, big bro, let's get it. We need you. Like that moment feels way better as a team when you get to come, when Drew Holiday gets to come over and pull Tatum to the side, like, hey, right now, I need you to get into that mode, big fella. Y'all see that clip on IG? Hey, I need you to get back in that mode, big fella. I need you to lock in. That is what I think that's the smarter psychological way for Tatum to let it roll. Let them come to you and say, hey, now, go.
There is another argument to that, though. There is another argument where it's just like there is a professionalism and you trying to win the game, and then if you win the game, it's him just saying it's my game now.
Yeah. But listen, when you've really been in a locker room, bro, it's humans in there, bro.
True.
It's humans in there, bro.
You're not wrong.
Especially these guys have been together for a long time, bro. These is not just coworkers, bro.
But the thing is,
these guys have been together for a long time, bro.
If they get blown out game one, they're gonna be looking at him and be like, "Where were you?"
No, he won't let that happen. No, that's right. If he lets them, and LeBron used to do this, and this is actually where I learned this strategy from. LeBron used to trick a game off. He would let his team lose a game one. But he would do it from I'm analyzing the other team standpoint. And at the end of the game, you'd be like, yo, LeBron, why don't you just turn up? And he'd be like, no, hold on. I'm letting my guys find out where they're going to get shots from. And I'm figuring out the defense. Yeah. And then he would come out in game two and kill them. I'm not saying he should go that far. I'm not saying let them lose a game one per se. But I'm saying first half, if you go into halftime down a little bit, I think that's a sweet spot.
You know what?
As the Celtics, you kind of need a little adversity in this series to turn up. So if you're Tatum, I would almost let us go into halftime game one down.
But the problem,
because even Kyrie said it, they needed to lose the game four. They needed to, because they hadn't lost in 5 games.
True, but the problem is, Pharaoh, you said that Tatum is a rhythm player. So if he's out there playing like LeBron, just passing the ball off, letting everybody do their thing, and now you try to turn up and the shots aren't going in, now you getting blown out.
He could find it in the half. He could find.
You said what? He could find it in the half.
He could find it in the half. That's also going to be part. That's also going to be part of his growth. I need him to take the step to. You can still be a rhythm player. I need your ramp to be shorter, because that's real Kobe stuff. If we're really talking about it. Kobe's ramp was probably the shortest in NBA history. He needed maybe 2 minutes. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
He could be chilling for a whole game. If he senses the game slipping away,
he would do it often too.
2 minutes, and I'm in it now. A quick personal 8-0, 10-0 run. And now I'm in it. That's the step I want to see Tatum take. If they go into halftime down, okay, cool. Y'all know what it is. We needed this to wake up. Are we awake? I would literally be in that locker room like, yo, are we awake now? Like, we good now? Like we know we playing something real now,
2K
right?
when we play tonight. Watch.
Right? Like, we awake now? Is everyone engaged now? We know we playing a real opponent, right? All right, now let's hoop. And then you come out, and then to start the second half, you'd have one of them Tatum quarters, a quick 8-0, 10-0 run, 3 threes, going 3 for 3, 4 for 4. That's next step. That's what we need to see. Any final points before we get hyped for this?
I don't know if he could do it. That's my final point.
I agree with you because we haven't seen it. But that's his blueprint. I guess we should mirror it. What's Luka's blueprint for this next stage of his career, this next level that he hasn't been on before?
Jordan.
That's who he has to be.
Straight dominance, just kill
yes.
mode. Just kill mode.
Yes. And if he does it,
so not triple double Luka.
No,
but see the thing is,
kill mode Luka is triple double Luka also.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's like kill mode Russell Westbrook, except winning is involved.
He doesn't have. I don't know. I gotta think about that. But he doesn't have.
He has a 50 mode. He has a go mode. Who? He definitely does, Luka. He definitely has a go mode.
Yeah, but comparing it to Westbrook is kind of, I don't know.
I don't want. That's not. Yeah, but he has a go mode.
Forget that statement.
He has a go mode because he's like there's like 36 point triple double Luka and there's like 45 point triple double Luka.
Right. The triple double doesn't indicate the way the game is played today. The triple double doesn't.
Well, that's what I mean. I meant like, is he like a 30? Is it like 30 point Luka guy or is it 40 point Luka guy in this series? Like, what's his mentality?
He doesn't have a team like Tatum. He got to go out there and kill them.
Yes.
And he will. I think he will. Mavericks in 6. Let's go. I think Mavericks in 6, man. Luka get his first chip.
I wanted to be Mavericks in 6, but my mind tells me Celtics in 6.
I think it's 2.
I reserve my right to change my prediction after game 1, though. Putting it on
shut up.
Putting it on record right now. bro, because matchups matter, and I have to see schemes, right? So I always am a guy that is like, let me see game one, let me see what these coaches is on, because there's just certain things you can't predict. Like if I if the Celtics do switch, like then my whole opinion changes. Like if Joe Mazzulla decides to do switching, my whole opinion on the series changes. So I have to see that. I have to see that. What if he
changes his scheme though? After switching for the first 2 games.
Maybe, sure.
Which is why you can't just be like, oh, I'll reserve the right to change my opinion. Make the opinion, because this series is gonna come down to who is the best player in the league today. That's what it's gonna come down
to. I agree.
And it's not.
I think
I don't know who I believe is gonna do it. That's the thing. This series is going to prove it to me. I'm going to have an opinion.
The Dawn is crazy.
I'm going to have an opinion after this series. That's the thing.
Man.
I'm telling you this. Whoever wins, I'm saying is the best player in the world and the face of the league.
Agreed. I'm going to say that.
What Luka has done this year, he scored like 73 this year. I remember watching that game. Against the Hawks, too.
Forget the Hawks, man.
No, but I'm just saying, like, narrative-wise, in Trae Young.
Okay. That was hatred.
Luka got in a little better shape this year.
Yes, he did, actually.
Right?
Still got a little fat in the chin, but it's all right.
I don't know about that, brother.
A little bit.
I've been watching his rookie highlights, and I'm just like, yo, what happened, bro? It literally was one summer. He literally came back that second year, and he was like, "I don't care."
It was like some Matt Harvey.
Yo, did you see the clip of Mavs owner taking the beer out of his hand, and he's like,
"Nah, he's really got a problem, bro." No, that's why he is Jordan. Like he really has vices, and he has a problem. Like, son, Michael Finley dead said, "Lucas, stop." Like.
Are you okay?
Somebody commented and said that I think it was
he was tight too. Did you see him?
Yeah, he was upset.
I think it was Bowen. He said that Finley did the same thing to him when they were on the Spurs. So
facts, bro. You know they call him Luka Doncic, bro.
That's a fact.
The way he's playing, the way he's playing reminds it gives me the same feeling of Steph back in 2015.
No.
Yes.
No.
How it looks different.
There's nothing. There's nothing that felt that way. There's nothing. I haven't experienced anything in my life that felt that way.
In my life,
it was too specific of a feeling. It was very not the feeling of someone being unstoppable. I'm just saying, the way Steph was doing it, there was such a specific.
And I haven't seen it since. I'm not gonna lie.
There was such a specific feeling attached to it. Like it was such a distinct emotion. Like there's nothing
goodness. It was absolute goodness.
There's nothing.
That's what it was.
Well, for me, it was more so the unstoppability of.
We've felt that before, though.
Nah, I didn't feel anything like Steph.
I remember Kobe in 05 and 06.
Yeah, but the team wasn't good enough though.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's a distinct. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's not just the unstoppableness. That's my point. Like there was something else distinct about that feeling. It was the whole feeling of the Bay. It was the cultural movement of it. There was something super specific about that moment that has not been replicated and probably never will. It wasn't just the unstoppableness.
Here's the thing, though, right? To me, the way Luka is playing is the way James Harden was playing. But I think the winning aspect of it, he's doing it in a winning type of way.
The Rockets were winning. They just flamed out in the playoffs.
They didn't get to the finals.
I know. I'm saying they just flamed out in the playoffs.
No, but James Harden was a part of that.
He never had Kyrie.
He did have Chris Paul.
No, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to put more respect on Luka. Luka's also just playing better than James did at that time.
I think that's what I'm saying. Like Luka is actually like he found the way to play like Harden, but in a way where you can win a chip.
It's you know what it is? He's just dependable. He doesn't stop being able to do the things he does,
and he doesn't choke.
He doesn't just. That's what I'm trying to say without saying. He doesn't choke. He doesn't disappear.
I'm gonna say it straight up. James Harden is not a playoff player like that. He'd be choking too much.
Now let me say,
I still shoot Joel Embiid. I still shoot Joel Embiid. Bale.
Disrespectful. I was gonna say he's learning the wrong things in all them non-basketball activities he be attending.
If you have to hesitate that much to say what you want to say, you probably shouldn't say it, brother.
That's
I
a
haven't
fact.
said that Wemby might replicate that feeling. We'll see.
We might.
Maybe.
He might.
Maybe. Hey, he won't replicate that feeling. That feeling is isolated in time.
But think
like,
about this though.
Also, like, think about where we were in our lives. Like, we were sophomores in college. Like, it was or maybe a junior for Drake. Like, it was such a specific time in life. Like, I will never.
Same year as me. He was. I'm not that damn old. What the hell? Paul and I were the same class.
Wait. What year?
2016.
2016. We were juniors.
That year we were juniors.
We're all this. You're the only one younger than us.
Yeah,
I was born in 95, brother. Relax.
Yeah, but you're at the end of 95, aren't you?
No, but I when I transferred schools, I went back a grade, so I am in y'all's grade.
Oh,
per se. Yeah, I am in y'all's
weird.
grade.
Why? That's a different story. I'm sorry.
Because I went from public to private, and their cutoff is different. They don't want mad old. They don't want you to be mad young in your grade.
No, but that's what they did to me. I was mad young in my grade. No, I wasn't. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, they didn't want me to be mad young in my grade for most of the year, even though I was born in the same year as everyone else. So instead, they made me mad old in my grade. I graduated high school having been 18.
You're mad
right,
long.
I was 18 for mad long walking across the stage. Like,
you're right, because I was about to be that actually happened. I was supposed to be in the grade above the rest. That's why I'm in Paul's grade. That's actually, you're right, because I was in private school.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was about to say.
That's what happened.
Based on your birth year, I would have thought you would have been. Yeah, exactly. But
yeah,
anyway, so I was a sophomore time. I was at Q.
Bro, I was driving by these kids were learning. Like,
let me say this.
No, I'm just talking about like that time in life. Like that was a special. Shout out everyone. Hey, class of 18 to Q 16. Y'all know what it was. Y'all know what we was doing that year. It was.
Well, I'm talking about the basketball, man. Listen,
no, but the basketball game was on in these moments that I'm reflecting on.
That's a fact.
Like that was the reason for the link. The kickback started with the premise of the Warriors are on tonight. You feel me?
Listen. All I'm saying is
3 quarters were going in. You feel what I'm saying? Shooting from deep.
No.
You're
listen. James Harden was breaking Wilt records.
Right? That's a fact.
But
in the
nobody believed that he would actually do things like that and win. Luka's doing similar things and he could win a chip. So what is the dominance we're seeing is kind of crazy from Luka.
There's distinct differences.
So that's why I'm saying like this is kind of Curry-ish to me. Because I was like,
I know what you mean, bro.
I know what you mean, but you're wrong.
We can't put that on it. It's so specific, bro. It's so specific.
It's a different feeling, bro.
It's just like there's nothing like that.
Life was better all around.
Bro, it was 2016, bro. I was
outside.
Views was out. Pimp a Butterfly was out. Like, son, Coloring Book came out. Like, dog. Pablo came out. Listen, brother, that was
a lit summer, bro.
Yo, all my people, 2016, y'all know the vibe.
Summer 2016. Come on.
Bro,
you were
different, bro.
Wait a second. No disrespect, but Paul was actually high key inside.
Oh wow.
He was inside.
Whoa.
That's why he doesn't have the. Oh nah.
Whoa. I'm talking about basketball. Y'all talking about everything.
Oh no.
Whoa. I didn't see this going there. I didn't foresee this happening. I just wanted to be excited.
Be excited.
Reminisce.
I'm not. That's not disrespectful. There's nothing wrong with being inside. Be who you are. It's okay. Anyway.
Dre, I don't know how I feel that you just did. I feel like that was a little shady, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You did not have to do that. You know? That's crazy.
That wasn't disrespect.
That was crazy as hell. That was crazy.
Hotter than it had to be.
Nah, you paused the whole pod. You paused the whole pod. Called ISO, got quiet. God damn.
Nah, Paul's gonna hate me after this. Paul's never running.
He should. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Listen, maybe I should have been inside too. I should have probably been inside too.
Yeah, you were caught.
That's a fact.
Ooh. Yeah, no. So you wasn't with me, brother. Don't act like summer 16.
I wasn't with you. I wasn't.
You was inside too. All right, you was outside with GPS.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's different. It's
Let
not
Paul say that. Let Paul say that.
No. I'm standing up for my mans. Forget that. Nah, I don't rock like that. You're talking about I've been in the locker room before. You gotta speak up sometimes. Hey, hold on. You ain't gonna talk to him like that.
That's mad crazy.
Watch out. What they say? Watch out.
Watch out. ISO.
All right. I think we have properly set. I think the people deserve 2 hours prior to the NBA Finals, and you got it. This is an exciting time, man. I did want to touch on WNBA basketball, but the pre-finals pod, it's tough to get into that. I think after game one, we'll just have one game to dissect, and then I do want to talk about the WNBA basketball. But I just want to mention it, not to get in depth, but Liberty started the season 6-2. The real New York basketball team, Asia Wilson, looks like she's got an MVP season loading once again. Caitlin Clark, we are going to dive into what's happening with Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, address all the narratives, and also talk about her on-court performance. We'll touch on Angel Reese as well. Got to give love to Connecticut Sun. They're 7-0 to start the season. Woody-doo. But yeah, man, tap in with WNBA basketball, man. If you're a real basketball fan, which we hope we have on this podcast, there's some real good ball and a lot of the topics and sort of things about basketball philosophy that we talk about with the men's league. It's super present there as well, and talking about league development as well. We talk about faces of the league and how the media sells it. All that stuff is ripe for conversation with the WNBA as well. So we are going to get to that. For those of you out there that are WNBA fans, we're going to serve you very soon. But until then, you know who it is. You know what we do. This has been Fast Breaks. See you next time.
Come on. It's Fast Breaks. Listen. We back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Alan, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game. We don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm to run the fast break. Throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast